Hello Aquarius, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. My dear aqua babies, my cosmic flowers, I'm hearing. So maybe you're about to blossom into something. I'm here to do a general reading for you. It is general, so it may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended. And the link to the extended is at the top of the description within this video. So aqua babies, I'm going to start with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Sun. See what the message is, and then I'm doing things just pretty intuitively here. We're just flowing with the cards, and then I'm going to go into the good tarot. Yes, that's what it's called. It took me a while because it's been a while since I've used it. So let's get started. I also have my camera turned around, my phone, so I can't see as I'm recording. So I apologize if I hold up a card and you can't see it perfectly. It's just helping me to concentrate more on the cards and on the reading. All right, a message for Aquarius. Aquarius, aqua babies. Aquarius, Aquarius, aqua babies. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Okay, before I show you the card, I gotta tell you. So I'm shuffling. I'm thinking I should tell them what I'm feeling because I think it has something to do with them, because I was fine until I sat down here and I sat in your energy. And actually, this is the second time I've tried to film this because I just couldn't make a connection with you, which is so unusual. Like if you've been watching me for a while and you come into the Aquarius readings, you'll know that my Aquarius readings tend to be sometimes like the fastest ones. Like it just flows like uninhibited, crazy information. Like I just feel like we're just like connected, like the Borg. It wasn't happening. So I had to stop the record. I'm like, okay, I feel like I need different cards. Like those cards are not talking. So I got the different cards. I sat down, I'm doing this right now with you. And I have like this nagging headache. But it feels like there's a block. Like this is, like this is how I usually see you and this is how I usually feel it. I honestly feel like there's some sort of a block going on right now. I don't know if you've received like a massive download or if you've been stretching your intuition and your psychic abilities beyond what you typically do. It's almost like, I would describe it as like, if you started a new workout routine and you were really going at it for a couple of days, and all of a sudden a day or two after those first initial 2 days, you wake up and you can't even walk. Like, or have you ever done like new butt exercises or thighs or something? Oh, like it's just like you can't do what you would normally do. So if downloading is something that you would normally do, it just feels like it's cut off, but it feels like it's produced a headache. And I can't figure out if the headache is sort of symbolizing like the achiness of overuse, or if the headache is symbolizing a disconnect from something. So what's really, this card came out. So you have Venus in Aquarius and you have detachment. And it's just so interesting how so much of the head area, like it's all these little areas have numbers on them. I want to pull the book out and get more about this. And it's so intriguing to me, the fact that it's Aquarian energy that's come out too. But it's Venus in Aquarius, which if I remember correctly, there is some sort of detachment between the mental and the emotional state. There's some sort of detachment going on for you. Where are we going? We're going this way. Venus in Aquarius, so love, principles, and humanity. Okay, the events that this could be: a sudden love affair with a friend, an unusual free love relationship, an unusual or odd relationship, a couple living separate lives, an agreement between lovers. It's not what I've been bringing in. But I want to say if this is a secret thing, because I've had a lot of difficulty sitting in your energy, and I've just been flowing like flying the last couple of days, thinking, gosh, what's it going to be like when I hit Aquarius? Boom, like hitting a wall. When this card is drawn in a reading, it may indicate a detached feeling with regard to one's relationship. Negatively, it can mean that there is no means of making contact. Oh my God. That was the reading I was trying to do for you before I sat down. Not before I sat down, before I sat down to this one. That you can't make contact to something. You've been disconnected from something. I don't know if that's like a cosmic lover with the other cards that came out. There is some sort of detachment. Let's just read the whole damn thing now. I'm gonna have to sit down and show you the cards that came out when I tried to communicate. I get this with Cancer. If I'm going to get this with anyone, it's Cancer, because the reading has got so many layers and depths to it. It's almost as if I have to give you a message and I can't pull it out in one sit down. And that drives me crazy. It's my job. I do it. I'm here for you. But it drives me crazy when that's how it happens. And this is exactly what's happening. I never would have guessed having this happen with you, Aqua babies. All right. So basically, it says Aquarius Venus people like to be friendly with everyone, but not too friendly. Not the most stable of partners, if, nevertheless, they find a stimulating and sociable relationship that allows them adequate freedom and not too traditional a way, they will stick with it tenaciously. Plenty of intellectual stimulation is important for this planet sign personality. They dislike jealousy and overpossessiveness and soon tire of romantic partners who seek to encroach on their social freedom. Their taste inclines towards the unusual, with innovative art taking pride of place. Sexually, they can in some cases be somewhat eccentric and promiscuous. Many of the acquaintances, friends, and loved ones of Venus Aquarians will be creative and artistic. In long-term partnerships, they are more likely to marry someone who has been a good friend for quite a while. In fact, friends becoming lovers and lovers becoming friends fits easily with their unconventional social attitude. People with this aspect flourish in group activities, especially where the group concerned is involved with an ideal or a particularly avant-garde philosophy. These are the people who can live quite easily in an ashram or commune. What is so... Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna... This is going to be one of those readings where I'm not necessarily meant to understand it. So I have to release that. As a human being who has my own faults, I see it right now. I'm trying so hard to understand this, but I don't think I need to. What I need to do is tell you what's coming out. Maybe my headache just went away. Oh my God. It's almost like maybe I'm sitting here as the block. That's what it was. I'm the block. I'm not the block anymore. I've released it, Aquarius. I apologize. I'm only human. I might be an oracle or an intuitive, but I'm also human. Resourcefulness and idealism. Oh, look at this. What did I just talk about, Cancer? So resourcefulness is the sun in Cancer, and then idealism is the sun in Aquarius. Yeah, okay. So I know I'm on track about having to have started a reading and incorporate it into this, because there's something where there's no communication. Let me pull out the card. It's obviously very important. About, oh shit, there's such a part, because I combined these two decks. Ugh, damn it. I'm gonna find it. Oh, I could probably edit this because I've been editing videos since I turned the camera around. Oh, come here. You were part of it, and so were you. Yeah, I'll edit this, maybe. Or maybe I won't. Because, you know, sometimes I have interesting stuff to say. Well, I think it's interesting, but you might not find it. Oh, there! But there was another one. I don't know how important it is. Because those were the underlying. Yeah, they weren't so important. That doesn't matter. Oh, damn, I'm making a mess. Oh, some days I feel like a little kid that shouldn't have been left unsupervised. But anyways, here we go. I think it's all part of being Aries. All right. Okay, I got to tell you everything that came in and out of the reading. This is the card that came up. You had one single card that came out, and then you had an interesting underline. Well, it was mostly about the other person. The other person's got a bunch of responsibilities that are kind of like bigger than them, but let's not go. It's not about them right now. Okay, so the song lines. This card has been coming out quite a bit the last few days for me on my channel. And the message I got with this was very interesting. There's one energy in particular that's trying to communicate to you. but it's not quite coming through, or there's a block, or it was communicating and now it's not. There's something going on. So this is you sleeping so peacefully, so wonderfully. The message I was also getting is that there is basically someone trying to communicate to you that cannot communicate to you in a conventional manner, right? We're getting all sorts of unconventional energy here with this card. So it's pretty much clarifying that for me as well. But like, it's just common sense. Like if someone's trying to communicate to you through the dream state or song lines, in dream state is also, I also talked about just before you fall asleep, as well as just as you wake up. Those 2 points in time, I think you just have like maybe a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes at the most, where your subconscious and your consciousness are like both equally aware. And like you can pull something in from the ethereal and be consciously aware of what it is and totally take it in and understand it. So that's an important factor. And that's what I see here too with this, with the person sleeping. So it is an indication about that. And of course, if someone's trying to communicate to you like that, well, why couldn't they just send you a text message or a phone call, or, you know, just walk up to you and talk to you? So for some reason that can't be done. It has something to do with the responsibilities. So this card became animated for me. Like I saw it started to play and it was weird. So I'm going to cover up the one orca because this is the one that's not involved in what I saw start to happen. So you see how it almost looks like they're coming out of the water into the air and all this water is coming down. It immediately started to play in reverse for me, that this energy is being removed. Like it's like you watch a video or something backwards and it sounds funny. Like that's just what it like they all just started going like up into the air. They were like being pulled away from you. But this one, for some reason, is still kind of close to you. But that's not what's trying to communicate. It's this one over here. This one here, to me, is not associated with all this other outside energy that's kind of interfering. I was even serving as an interference. And I think that's part of the message too. My headache is totally gone. Like as soon as I just released trying to understand your friggin' reading, my headache is gone. Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep that out. Obviously very important. You know what? I didn't delete that yet. So, okay. So if you're curious as to how the first part of this read, I don't know. I mean, I'll think about it. Because when something's not coming out right, I really think it's meant for me when it applies to the reading. I might not. It's too late. If you're already like voting for it in the comments, I will have made my decision already and it's final because it's gone to air. If I did, you may find it at the back end of this video, just for shits and giggles. So, anyway, so there's something going on, and maybe it has to do with a lover, because that was quite prominent in here. This is not me going back. This is me being curious. I'm not trying to figure this out anymore, but I'm being real curious and kind of snoopy. A sudden love affair with a friend, an unusual free love relationship, an unusual or odd relationship, a couple living separate lives, an agreement between two lovers. So, I don't know, this could be unconventional. I don't know, maybe someone is in a relationship, but they don't have any like emotional needs met in it, perhaps. When this card is drawn in a reading, it may indicate a detached feeling with regard to one's relationship. So there is a detachment here between you and somebody. Negatively, it can mean that there is no means of making contact. That's what I wanted to get back to. That feels so strong in this reading, and that's what's going on here. It's trying to come in. Okay, I'm just going to push these up because I also have this deck and I want to pull out cards. I'm just pulling them out. I'm not trying to figure this out anymore, Aquarius. And sometimes I find readings like that too, where as the reader, when I'm reading for someone else, I don't quite understand it. Sometimes it could even be meant for me to understand like weeks later. I could come back to it, or it appears in my own feed and go, oh yeah, what was that about? And then it'll make sense to me. But not right now, it doesn't. And I do sometimes, like for Aquarius, I do, because my North Node is Aquarius, but I think this is way ahead of me. I'm not like the Hermit. My gosh, the Hermit. Like, yeah, the door is closed on this right now. Why? That's a weird thing to say. The door is closed on this right now. So now I feel like you were communicating to somebody sort of like in the ethereal, in the dream state, but the door is closed for some reason, like something's happened. So now it feels like there's no communication at all. So now it feels like there's no communication at all. Let me see. What's crossing the Hermit? The Seven of Earth, the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, there's no communication at all. And trying to fix this. I'm really... Okay, part of the problem too is I'm trying to solve things so that I can keep the reading moving forward. Like part of me wants to ask, what's causing the block? Because then I think, well, to kind of give you some resolution. But maybe resolution is not meant in this. Maybe you're just meant to receive the message. Again, my head feels lighter when I say that, so I got to keep going with this. There's been some sort of a block here. But look, movement is coming. I really feel like maybe this is just to reassure you on some level. If you were having some sort of a communication with someone, and the door's been closed on that, there's a reason for this. And it might have something to do with responsibilities going on in the other person's life. Because that's what the underline was, and it was a very distinct energy from yours. This Orca card is yours. Theirs was the responsibility, stability. No, it was sacrifice, stability, and responsibility. So whoever you're dealing with, if you've lost some sort of communication with someone, if someone has stepped out of the dream state, you were having dreams with them every night, Aquarius, you're probably on other planets every night. I just swear I step into your energy and I'm being taken on a Star Trek adventure. But this person is, to them it's a sacrifice, I feel, to lose this communication. But it has to be done to keep, because they're responsible for something. And they're responsible for the stability in something outside of them. So this could be like a mental distraction that somebody is going through. Something is taking up their mind space. And that could be too, like the headache part, it almost felt like there was so much going on in my head. So the mental capacity to communicate to you through the ethereal, through the dream state, it can only really be done when there isn't a lot of other mental distractions going on in someone's life. Justice in the Tower is at the bottom. The Glowing Sword of Truth. I really like that card. The Glowing Sword of Truth and the Tower. Oh. I was told to look at the underline. Well, I am looking at, look at the card underneath here, but it's reversed, so I stopped with Seven of Water in reverse, like the Seven of Cups in reverse, which is quite interesting, because if I'm going to read that in a reverse, particularly with the Glowing Sword of Truth here, there's some sort of, there's no other options here. There's no other options here for what's going on in someone's life outside of you. And B, I feel like there are no other options. Like you are the Glowing Sword of Truth here. So even if you've lost some sort of connection with someone energetically, they're not connecting with anyone else, like energetically, like they are with you. With this in reverse. Like this is, but I'm curious about the Tower. Might just be the fact, the Tower itself between those two cards could just be like the shocking truth. The shocking truth in all of this. Let's see what this Tower is. One more time. One more time. Aquarius. The Tower in this. Oh, we got two queens. The Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. The shocking truth. Maybe there is a choice here. Maybe this person has been... Okay, I gotta say, like with the two queens here, I feel like this person might be in some sort of other connection. But with the stuff that's coming out in the detachment card, I feel like this person doesn't... Whatever that other connection is, I don't feel like there's anything fulfilling, any sort of emotional fulfillment in that. There is some sort of, I don't know, this, just the way I'm seeing these two cards playing out, because we all know the Queen of Swords is good at cutting stuff out. It's almost like coming in and cutting out the competition, or, I don't know, it's kind of vulgar and crude, like, chop off her head, like that. Don't do that to anybody, please don't. Don't even think about it. I really got to tell you, for some of you, I think that there's some sort of a choice here. But don't you worry. I feel like you're the glowing sword of truth. This is such a funny reading. Again, I'm trying not to figure it out. You have the Seven of Pentacles. That came out in the first one too, at least once or twice. And see, now we have it here, the Seven of Earth, the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles and the Hermit. Like stepping back to reassess something. Someone is stepping back to reassess something. Someone is stepping back because they sort of have to, there's something to do with their responsibilities and them being the one to keep the stability in some sort of situation. There is going to be movement. There is some sort of a plan here, working through a plan where a door has been shut to create movement and fluidity again. And underneath everything, the glowing sword of truth is, there is no option outside of you. So I'll just say that. That's what I'm going to say. I'm almost afraid to go and do the extended. I'm going to be exhausted after that. It never happens with aqua readings, man. What's going on? All right, Aquarius, that's what I got. I hope it makes sense to you. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye. Hello, Aquarius, my friends, my aqua babies, my space Avengers. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Aquarius, I am just giving you a heads up that I have changed the camera. So I don't see myself anymore when I'm doing the reading, because I'm trying to focus more and more on the cards and on the messages. The only thing is that I hold a card up, but I'm not sure if you can actually see it, or I can't tell what I'm pointing at if I'm trying to show you something on the card. So bear with me. I'm finding it's giving me more focus into the readings. And yeah, so you're going to get something a little bit new here. So I've been working through this week what's at the bottom here? Whoa, look what you got. You got some power. You got the Wolverine at the bottom. I've combined two decks here. I've never been one to do that. Although I've done it a couple of times. I don't usually do it unless like I hear like my spirit guide saying, put those two decks together, Cindy. And they usually say it's just like that. So it's my Divine Animal Oracle and my Mystical Shaman Oracle. And they're together now. And they're not exactly the same size, but pretty close. So I haven't even done a test reading on myself with this, but there's been a lot of repeats coming through in these two decks. Like I've been using them exclusively sort of on their own the last few readings. And yeah, it was just really apparent that I need to bring them together. So that's what we're going to do here for you right now. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate. If it does, and you're drawn to it, there is an extended. The link to that is at the top of the description within this video. Aquarius, what cosmic journey will you take me on today? Let's see. Let's see, aqua babies. What messages do we have for Aquarius? Messages for Aquarius. Oh gosh, this has been coming out so much. Orca and song lines. Do you see? Like, it's crazy how much that card has been coming out. And now it's in like a huge conglomerate of cards. Is that the only one we're going to get? And then at the bottom, you have Bull, sacrifice and stability and responsibility. These are heavy cards at the bottom. It's like some sort of a sacrifice that you or somebody is making here. I'm telling you right now, well, this is actually how it feels to me. This is so funny. It feels like someone is like trying to communicate to you, and you're here in this card. You're this person here laying, sleeping. I'm also hearing like song lines. Maybe people are trying, or people or a person is trying to communicate to you through songs, through song lines, and you will hear them either in your sleep or just before you fall asleep or just as you wake up. That's sort of that period where your subconscious and your consciousness, I like to think, are both fully active just before you fall asleep and just as you're waking up. So there is some sort of communication going on for you, trying to touch you, trying to connect with you. But then this feels like something outside of you. So I'm not sure if that's the energy that's trying to connect with you. But right now there's like a sacrifice. The sacrifice involves stability and responsibility. That just to me feels like, well, yeah, those are two pretty powerful energies that would possibly cause like some sort of a sacrifice to take place. I'm going to put these down here. There's been a lot going on with the water in these cards lately. I really get this sense of like you on your own. I don't know if that's just energetically, like if you're shutting down energetically or you have been shut down energetically from others. Yeah, no, actually, it's important to do that. It's okay. It's almost like there is some sort of there's a specific energy that's trying to come through to communicate to you. But it's been difficult because of a lot of other energies like that are either communicating with you or like taking up your energy or distracting you. So if you haven't sort of like isolated your energy, I am hearing like to do that. I'm really seeing this card differently all of a sudden. It's almost like it's almost like it's playing in reverse, like watching this video playing in reverse. And the whales are being sucked back up into the water, like removing some sort of distraction. I feel like this is the one that's trying to connect with you way back here. This is the one that's trying to connect with you. And most of the energy that has been like almost serving like a static or an interference has been pulled back, has been removed. But there's one that's still real close to you. So you're not getting the full message, or you're not fully in tune to the message because of this one energy that's still sort of lingering. I'll focus on that later. I'm going to pull out my Shadowscape Tarot. I'm not really looking at the camera as much either. There's no one to look at. So. I used to always like having myself to look at because I feel like I just like to look at someone's face while I'm talking. But now I'm just kind of focused on the message. I'm being very professional. All right. Tell me more about the song lines in Orca for Aquarius. The first thing we have here is the Four of Cups. Look at that. Look at, like somebody is trying to dip their fingers, their hands down into the water. It's like there's either some sort of physical distance here, or there's some reason, I want to say, if somebody's trying to communicate to you through song lines or through like the dream state, for some reason you can't communicate like directly with somebody. I mean, why else wouldn't you just pick up the phone or send them a text message or something, right? Like, it just seems so unusual. But it is like they feel like they can't reach you, or they've been trying to reach you. But it's the removal of all this energy around you that is so key here. Can you tell me about the removal of the energy for Aquarius? The removal of the energy for Aquarius. The Seven of Pentacles. So that you can really see the right fruit you're supposed to pick here. But again, it's to assess, something's not working. Okay, something is not working, some sort of communication, or this is trying to create a new form of communication with you. This is so funny. I really thought this is one of the few times I've stepped into a reading like this with you, where it's hard to read. And that's almost the message. When I have that happen with you, Aquarius, I know that's part of the message, because usually it's just like spilling out of me like, wow. It's just like connect with you and the cosmos, and it just comes out like a verbal diarrhea, but it usually makes sense. So there's something here that doesn't quite make sense. There's something here that you can't quite connect with. You know, and it could have been you just like receiving proper downloads here, because you're all doing that all the time. Like, look at you. You're just pulling it in there. But there's something in your environment that is serving as like a block. Because this feels like a very heavy block. The reason why I identify this one is the energy trying to connect with you, and not this one. Because this one has got all that water pulling back up. See, and that's how it looked like to me, like it's going reverse. Like when you play a video or a song in reverse, that's what that feels like. And in this one, though, I don't feel that around them. They almost feel like they've come down and the water's dripping down with them. So this is like, it's so close to reaching you. But there's something still in your environment that stops you from getting this full download. Okay, I'm going to put you over there, because and I almost feel like, this almost feels like the cross watcher or the deeper self of someone who's trying to communicate with you coming through the reading. Because it's almost like it's hard to hear them through you. Like, if I sit here and I'm trying to be in your energy, I can't receive the message. So I was hesitant to go over here first, because this is someone else's energy in your reading. But I feel like I can get more out of this than I can out of you. It's like there's something around you. Let's just pull, okay, one out for each of these. Actually, I'm hearing to go this way, so okay, I'll do that. Now, the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. All right. This energy over here, a sacrifice in the bowl, we have the Four of Pentacles. Stability in the Sea Turtle, we have the Page of Swords. Responsibility with the Meerkat, and then we have the Hierophant. Let's talk about responsibility. It's like a double responsibility card. Yeah, this person is, the sacrifice I'm feeling like is to not be able to move or communicate to you, like on some level openly here, because the Four of Pentacles is a pretty like self-contained energy. So somebody is self-containing, and it's a sense of sacrifice for, oh gosh, okay, the sacrifice has to do with the responsibility. I was so like, look at the images. I see the images here. I see like this bull is supporting an entire town or something on its head. And I'm thinking, bull, bull. Well, I'm hearing bull, bull. What does the bull represent? The Hierophant, like Taurus. So the responsibility, a commitment to something, almost like a commitment to a town, a community, maybe a workspace, a church space. There's some sort of sacrifice, someone that you are dealing with or is trying to deal with you. It's like they are small compared to what this responsibility is.